melting pot of goodness, of goodness, and of a great show. Because, like I said, even if you watch the show sporadically, clips here and there, and you watch an episode here or there, maybe because of the holiday season, you always find yourself maybe attracted to one character or so, and say, "Hey, I'm a fan of that character," and you go like, "Hey, yeah, I'm a fan of that character. I like that character. If there's anything related to that character, merchandise-wise, I might get it. Just to collect." And that's what I've done. I mean, if you were to take a look at some of the MLP stuff I have, merchandise-wise, figure-wise, and all that, I have and will have, I currently have a rarity plush, as you have seen, a tiny rarity figure, and this rarity figure. And I have a rarity plush, a 13.5-inch rarity plush coming very soon. So that shows you that I'm a fan of rarities. Who isn't? I mean, there are people that, whether you're a Brony or you're a nostalgic supporter or you're just someone that sporadically watches the show here and there, who are fans of Twilight. And if there's anything of Twilight around, they'll get it. Who are fans of Luna. If there's anything Luna related, they'll get it. Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, whatever you want to call it. If you're just someone that sporadically watches it or nostalgically supports it or whatever, you're always going to find a character that you'll take a liking to and be like, hey, if there's anything related to that character, merchandise-wise and everything, I'm going to get it. And to be quite honest with you, the reason I took an interest as a nostalgic supporter in the show, and if not in the franchise, because of FIM, is because a couple of years ago, we were at my second oldest sister's house, and MLP FIM was coming on. And my young nephew, who's going to be 8 years old this year, liked it. And he liked the show. So they put it on. And they said, I think my second oldest sister said that it's actually a good show. That she watched it with him and she thought it was good. She thought it was good and it was kind of funny. Almost very similar to what my older sister said about Nickelodeon's TMNT. That it's funny, it's good. And I think it's overall, like I've mentioned before, and many people have mentioned, I think it's the writing. It's the overall presentation. The writing, the way the characters are presented and fleshed out. It's the way the stories are told. It's the overall writing and presentation of the show that even adults, will notice and allow them to get into. Will notice about it and allow them to get into it. Even if they don't watch it religiously or daily or stuff like that, if they watch it sporadically here and there, it's something that, basically it's something that if there's nothing else on, and they want to sit back and watch something, that they could just put on, and let's say they're eating lunch or they're just taking a break, putting their feet up, they can sit down and watch and actually enjoy. That's basically what the show is, how the show is written, how the show is presented. And again, you got to go back and you got to give respect and mad props to Lauren Frost, for doing that. She and her team knew what they were doing. Now the only question is, will she and whoever other co-writers and whatever, who I think are coming back for the movie, along with the guy that's writing it, or directing or whatever, do they have any idea what they got planned? I mean, obviously the movie's going to be an FIM movie, but do they have any idea what they're going to do? So that's totally up in the air. And that's another thing too. That's another thing too. When you take a look at the movies supposedly planned for 2017, you look at it and you say it's either make or break. Because this isn't going to be an Equestria Girls movie. No. This is going to be a movie, feature-length film, maybe better animation quality, that is going to be based entirely in the Equestria world, in the FIM world. No spin-offs, nothing. So you got to do something that's going to say, how can we take what we have now, or take something like this to the next level? How can we really flesh them out and tell a good story with this movie? Flesh out the characters and tell a good story with them with this movie. You see, that right there is what I'm sure a lot of the Brony community is wondering. Now, that's what they're wondering. Will this movie be good? Will this be the make or break point? Because I think that's how a lot of fans look at the upcoming MLP FIM movie in 2017. It's either make or break. It's either it's going to be a success for them, or it's going to be a disaster for them. Because either way, this is going to define this franchise. This is going to define this incarnation. Whether it's good or it's bad, it's going to define it. And I guarantee you, if it's bad, that's it. With all due respect, the Brony community is going to end if nothing good comes to this movie. If this movie far succeeds what Hasbro's hoping for, then this Brony community is going to grow even further. It is. The MLP fan base overall, along with the addition of the Brony community, it's going to grow even further if this movie becomes the success that it could be. But it all depends on how it's presented, how well the characters are fleshed out for the movie, and what kind of story you can tell with them. But most importantly, how is this movie going to be viewed? Is it going to be viewed as sort of a middle-of-the-road kind of thing, like some animated films have been based on animated shows and franchises? Or will it be the finale? Will this be it? Will this be the end? You see, that's how people are also wondering. Is it middle of the road, or is this it? That's how they got to look at the movie. That's what they're wondering too. And they don't have an answer yet. So in my opinion, it's all up in the air. But as far as this whole Brony phenomenon is, do I think it's going to die down soon? Do I think it's going to slow down, kind of ease itself down and not as big as it is, or not as crazy as it is and all that? Oh yeah, I really think so. And I'm not saying that because I'm being disrespectful or anything. Heck, I wouldn't be doing this long of a video in multiple parts if I didn't. If I was. I mean, what I'm saying out of all due respect to the Brony community, because I gotta respect you guys, because I do respect you guys for being fans and supporting something that intentionally was originally intended for young girls and all that. With all due respect to them, I think this whole Brony phenomenon will slowly start to die down and kind of be at a level eventually down the line that Rescue Rangers and Sat AM is. In other words, there's going to be conventions for them, but they'll be more like very small conventions, very small knit conventions. They won't be as big as they are now. They won't be as, the media won't be, talking about them as much or anything. it's going to slowly start to die, slowly kind of come down to a point that they'll still be there. People might still talk about them. You might have a media outlet here or there that might talk about them, but it's not going to be as big or huge as it is now. Now, is this phenomenon going to die down in the next few years? Oh, hell no. Hell no, it's not going to. If anything, like I said, it's all going to depend on the movie in 2017, whether or not this phenomenon keeps growing or it dies down. That's how I look at it. So, but overall, that is my take on this whole Brony phenomenon because of MLP-FIM. Of this whole MLP-FIM Brony phenomenon. And like I said, just because people like me may not be bronies doesn't mean we can't be nostalgic supporters of a franchise we grew up on back in the day. Doesn't mean we can't be. Doesn't mean we can't collect the merchandise like card games and figures and all that, so that if we ever get a chance someday be able to display in a room along with our other figures. I mean, I have a lot of Transformer figures and Turtle figures and all that I would love to get shelf space for and just display, here and there. I mean, my plan down the line is to get some kind of a big shelf, ladies and gentlemen, and put my Transformer figures one row by row, as you've seen a lot of people do. And if I have any space left, maybe put my Turtle figures, then just have places to display stuff. So, but overall, I just think that, how do I put this? I just think, but overall, I just think that just because you're not a brony doesn't mean you can't doesn't mean you can't be nostalgic about something. I don't watch the show religiously. I don't watch the show religiously or daily, even if I have it on my Netflix queue. I don't even watch the shows that I got on DVD that much, unless I want to see how good the picture quality is and everything. I don't watch them that much. But it doesn't mean I can't collect them for nostalgic sakes because of the fact that I grew up on the show. I mean, here's the thing. I'm collecting some of the Nickelodeon TMNT figures, along with the new TMNT movie figures. Does that mean I watched Does that mean I watched the Nickelodeon TMNT series? No, I don't. I might catch a glimpse here and there, but I don't watch it. I'm not that into it. Like a lot of people are. And it's like I said, it's because I think honestly it's because of the presentation of certain characters. I mean, seriously? April and Casey as teenagers? Doesn't make sense. And April being a half-mutant psychic? Again, to me, doesn't make sense. So, but, that's just me. That's just my thought on it, folks. So, really, that's all I have to say. I mean, honestly, this Brony phenomenon is going to continue on, and like I said, in my opinion, it's going to be the movie that either continues it or breaks it. So, that's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think down below. Besides, this is in multiple parts and everything. And like I said, just because you may not be a brony, just because you may not watch the show religiously, all that, or daily, or whatever, doesn't mean you can't be a nostalgic supporter of the franchise and collector of the franchise. So, that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below. Sorry, this was in multiple parts, and I'll talk to you later. God bless.